to hear something from you, from our Braj Vallabh Prabhu. Please.
Well,
Achintya Prabhu.
when we were chanting I think to associate on an occasion like this, the first thing I have to do is turn my mind out the door, my imperative, and just greet the devotees with some heartfelt.
On already?
I know that. Oh, no, not but this is
It's just for
this is like a
hearing clear.
Only
Just hearing
only
clear.
Only hearing.
No one has an accent like me. So he's taping me, but he should be taping my mouth. I was thinking that because I'm offering Tulsi Manjaris and Ganga Jal to my Lord, all of a sudden he manifests like this, like the spiritual world appears in my lounge room, you know? And it is not, it's not a chance occasion. Everything is controlled by him. Nothing is happening according to the laws of this world. So all the beautiful devotees just manifest. How is it possible? Mahad Vichalanam Rinam Grihanam
Dina Chaitasa.
I'm a very materialistic, low-minded person. So the great saintly persons, for no other reason than to uplift the common householder fool like me, they appear and give good instructions, give good association. So I feel very fortunate that wherever the devotees are, Krishna is manifesting in a very strong way. Because the devotees' hearts are full of Krishna. And wherever there's Krishna, all inauspiciousness is driven away. All mundane relative thought, our attention to this external world, which is absorbing us, the likes of a person like me, is pushed, suppressed down, and then the higher reality appears. This is a most wonderful thing, a transcendental thing. This is Avishmita Krishna Padaravindayo. The remembering Krishna's lotus feet destroys everything, all inauspiciousness. Avishmita Krishna Padaravindayo Snotya Bhadrani Cha Shamtano. It destroys all inauspiciousness and it awards the greatest of good fortune. Just by remembering Krishna's lotus feet. How is it possible? There's so many difficult pathways to attaining auspiciousness and transcendence. Very laborsome. But just by remembering Krishna, everything is adjusted perfectly. And it is joyful and blissful. The vast ocean can be crossed. So all inauspiciousness is eradicated. One is awarded the greatest of good fortune. It purifies the heart and awards devotion, transcendental knowledge, enriched with realization and renunciation. What more could we want? What is there more to achieve? Just by remembering Krishna's lotus feet. So I think because from time to time I remember Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Nitai Prabhu, Sri Radha Govinda, they have shown some pity upon me, a wretched amongst such effulgent devotees and Prabhu here, I think my guardians have sent you all to purify my home, you know. So nothing can be greater than this. I'm so indebted to you all for coming. I could go on forever, but I'm just hoping that this doesn't go anywhere other than. It sounds like truly an Australian accent. Yeah. Right,
Now our very dear Madhuri Didi, she will share.
Someone, can you?
ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. I offer my unlimited pranams to my divine spiritual masters. I'm actually a disciple of, I consider myself a disciple of 3 spiritual masters. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, and Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. I offer the same heartfelt pranam to all of them. And I'm so grateful that all of the Vaishnavas have come and blessed us here with their association and darshan. I was listening to my beloved Gurudev yesterday, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, and he was saying that all we want is to be in the service of our Divine Master. And when we're hearing his words, we feel safe. We feel we're in our real home. And whenever we feel that disconnection, that we're not in our home, we can't breathe, because we're really meant for that home. And Guru Maharaj was talking about the sannyas of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he was saying that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's sannyas was meant to bring us to our home, to Vrindavan Dham. And there were so many things I wanted to speak, but I can't remember any of them because I'm so overwhelmed by everyone being here. But I just, from the core of my heart, I ask for your mercy that I may make advancement towards the divine service that I want to be in. I don't want to be a member of this world anymore. Guru Maharaj was saying that once we take Diksha, that means that is a ceremony that commences the time when I don't belong to myself anymore. I belong to Krishna. I am his servant. And actually, our real home is Vrindavan Dham, and it's only by some madness that we're focused in this outside world and relating with this temporary body of flesh and blood. But whenever we're in the association of real devotees, all of their talk is only about Vrindavan Dham. And when we hear that talk, when we hear about the Goshta of Vrindavan, when we hear about Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda, Sri Dham Subal, and especially the servitors of Madhurya Rasa, then we really feel like we're at home. So I want to be in this association 24 hours a day, not just when everyone's here, but in the times when I may be alone also. I pray that I can always be absorbed in that beautiful talk of our real home. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha, kripasindhubhyeva patitanam pavanebhyo.
of Nityalila Purishtam Vishnupad Ashutasya Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj. Nityalila Purishtam Vishnupad Ashutasya Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Vedant Swami Prabhupada. Nityalila Purishtam Vishnupad Ashutasya Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj. To all Rupanuguru Parampara Saparsa Saparika Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Saparsa Saparika Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu Shri Radha Vinod Bihari. And then I offer my Dandat Pranams to all the devotees, those who are assembled here. Hare Krishna. What should I speak? When we met with these devotees, those who are serving Hari Guru Vaishnavas, those who are doing bhajan before we took birth. So we feel so much inspired when we went to these devotees' houses. We feel so much inspiration that, oh, we have to do lots of things. We have to serve more and more and more. So I am feeling overwhelmed. Thank through his centers, through his preachings, everybody got benefited. Everybody. No one can say that I am not connected with them. Anyhow, through their books, through their centers, through their words, through their Hari Katha, everybody is getting some benefits. So these are the specific glories of these special Rupanu Guru Vargas like Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj. So I wanted to remember that our beloved Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, the guardian of devotion. What a beautiful line. The guardian of devotion. He was so special, so unique that when, as we all know very well it, when Srila Prabhupada was going to enter, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, he was going to enter in Nitya Leela, he called Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj to sing Shri Rupa Manjari Pad. And he manifested what is the speciality of Shri Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj. He used to laugh always. And he used to say that I am not giving the entry very easily to that Kunja. We all remember that. But there is one more special thing. I think you all must know that. You all have already heard that. I just want to remember that. When he took initiation, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, when he joined the mutt, before his life is very, very unique. Everything about him is very unique and very special. He was searching for his spiritual master, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj. And since his childhood, he was a very, very great. He born in a very great Brahmin family. His father name was Sri Upendra Dev Sharma Bhattacharya. Mother was Srimati Gauri Bala Devi. And we all must know that his auntie, she went to Tirth Yatra. क्या बोलेंगे? Pilgrimage. And there she had a dream that, oh, this Gauri Bala, she got a son. And that son is look like a what it called? Demigod. When she returned to home, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj's auntie, her name was Kumud Kamini Devi. When she returned to home, she saw a boy is born in our house, and that boy looked like same. That boy is looked like same. So he was very special since his childhood. When he entered in university, Srila Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, he was searching for his spiritual master. He went to so many places. He got a friend. His name was Suresh Bhattacharya when he was in university. So that Suresh Bhattacharya, he took Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj. At that time, his name was Shri Ramendra Sundar Dev Sharma Bhattacharya.
Ramendra Chandra.
Shri Ramendra Sundar Dev Sharma Bhattacharya. Somewhere it is written Ramendra Chandra.
Well, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta changed his
Yeah,
name to Ramendra Sundar.
Ji. Ramendra Sundar Dev Sharma Bhattacharya. The name was very special. Dev Sharma Bhattacharya. Everything is special about him. So he went to many places. He was searching his Gurudev. Each and every point, like Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, he used to say about him that each and every word, each and every line, each and every statement of Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj is like a thesis. It's like a thesis. PhD level. Whatever he used to speak, PhD level. Not a normal thing. Just to share one thing, then we'll come to that point. One time one devotee asked to him that, oh Maharaj, it is normal that devotees are having different ideas, different matbhed ko kya kahenge? Conceptions, different ideas in this material world. But how it is possible for a spiritual personalities, those who are transcendental, we saw sometime they are having also different ideas. How it is possible? They must be one. How it is possible for a transcendental personalities that they are also having different ideas? So how beautifully he replied. His answers were always very unique. And We all know how he used to sit in his bhajan kuti very peacefully, very peacefully, very, what it called, simply. And what he was talking, what he was speaking, that was beyond our imagination. So he gave answer, that in Nitya Braj, what is happening there? Krishna returned to different ideas. He was speaking about different ideas. Krishna returned to home from cow grazing. So what Jashoda Maiya is thinking, oh, my boy got tired, so he must have rest properly. So this is Jashoda Maiya's thinking. But what gopis are thinking? What gopis are thinking? Completely opposite. They are thinking, oh, Krishna should not take rest. If he gets sleep, then how we will do our Leela? So he must come to us. Different ideas. How glorious they were. How beautifully they used to give answer. We cannot imagine even. These kind of answers we cannot imagine. So he was searching for his spiritual master. And then when he met with Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, so he wanted to join Mutt, but his life was something different. Srila Bhakti Vivek Bharati Goswami Maharaj, he used to insist so much, you should come, you should join Mutt, you should join Mutt. But he was thinking, oh, what is the, kya kahenge, badha, obstacles in my life to join the Mutt. The same day, that happened on the same day, he was thinking, oh, I have a wife, so I have so much responsibilities. How it is possible for me to join a Mutt? That time he was living on a rented house in Kolkata. So he was thinking like that, oh, I have a wife. How it will possible for me to join a Mutt? That day he returned to home. He got a message, oh, your wife is sick. He immediately returned to home. Wife back to Godhead. If he was free, then his mother, she wanted to get him married again. She was insisting, but he wanted to join Mutt. What happened? After 6 months, Krishna took his mother. Krishna was making his way. He is my pure devotee. He must come to me. He must serve to me. After 6 months, mother passed away. He was almost free. But what happened? He had 3 brothers. He was a senior brother. So he wanted to join Mutt. But that time he was thinking, oh, now at that time he was staying with his brothers in hostel. So his 2 younger brothers, he was thinking, let them complete their studies, and when they will get job, then I will join Mutt. He used to think like that. So one day what happened? He went to Mutt. He was a very good listener, and his memory mind blowing. Even on his old age, when he used to speak Harikatha, we cannot imagine how he used to give evidence from different scriptures. Whatever he's speaking, someone is asking question, and whatever he is speaking, how he used to give evidence, that is beyond of our imagination. Each and everything, and he said one time that my reading was very perfect. Although it was quite slow, but it was very perfect. He was a very good listener. That's why Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to like him so much. So he wanted to join Mutt, but again he was thinking that, oh, I have some responsibility. I am an elder brother. I am having 3 younger brothers. So they must complete their studies, and after they will get job, then I will join Mutt. Then Srila Bhakti Vivek Bharati Goswami Maharaj, he insists so much. So Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, no, you should join Mutt right now. So he took his advice very seriously, and he joined Mutt. At that very day, his 2 brothers also was in Mutt. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, he stayed in Mutt. His 2 younger brothers, they started crying. They returned to hostel. He stayed in Mutt. When he joined the mutt, we heard that when Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, he was entering in Nitya Leela, he called Srila Bhaktirakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj to sing Shirupa Manjari Pad. But when Srila Bhaktirakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, he joined mutt, and that news came to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, he was so anandit, so happy, so blissful, so happy that he uttered one verse from Srimad Bhagavad Gita about Srila Bhaktirakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj. Yad yad acharati shrestha taddev itarojana. What is the meaning? The greatly person, what they do, what they does, normal person follow them. So how glorious Srila Bhaktirakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj. When he joined the mutt, his Gurudev, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, he uttered this verse, Yad Yad Acharati Shrestha, Taddev Vitrojan. How glorious he was. And another very important, very nice thing. When he took initiation at that time, what happened? His nature was, Srila Bhaktirakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, from the very beginning of his life, his nature was, he used to like renunciation. That's why he used to like so much Bhagwan Ramchandra. His inclination towards Sri Ramchandra. And especially for Srimati Radhika also. But not for Krishna at that time so much. Because Krishna doing Ras Leela, this and that. But Lord Ramchandra, he renounced everything. Srimati Radhika, she renounced everything. So his inclination towards Sri Ramchandra was more. And even towards Srimati Radhika was also so much. So when he took initiation, at that time, it was a very, very rare that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, he used to taught something about Srimati Radhika, very rarely. Very rarely. But when Srila Bhaktirakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, he took initiation, Srila Prabhupada told him that how Srimati Radhika served Krishna. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, when Srila Bhaktirakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj took initiation, he told him everything that how Srimati Radhika is serving Sri Krishna in Braj. It was quite strange. When he comes out from the room of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, there was very senior disciple of Srila Prabhupada. His name was Sri Anant Vasudev. He asked to Srila Bhaktirakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, what Srila Prabhupada told to you? And Srila Bhaktirakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj replied, after giving mantra, Srila Prabhupada, he told me, he spoke about Srimati Radhika, how Srimati Radhika is serving Krishna in Nitya Braj. They all were very surprised. How it is possible that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, on a very first day, someone is getting initiation and Srila Prabhupada is teaching him. He is speaking about how Srimati Radhika is serving Krishna in Braj. So that was Srila Bhaktirakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj. He was very, very special. Very, very special. Srila Prabhupada appointed him in preaching. And there are many, many stories about their preaching. Many, many stories. But few things I want to remember. I want to remind that after Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, he disappeared. He served him in many ways. He preached all over in India, Srila Bhaktirakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, all over in India. And he was a very, very good listener. Very good listener. He used to listen each and everything very, क्या कहेंगे, सावधानी के साथ, very carefully.
I just want to mention one point. So Prabhuji just mentioned that when Prabhupada asked him to sing this kirtan, you should know that he was not a very good kirtaniya externally. So some devotees said no, not him.
No, they could not understand that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, actually to whom he is calling. They thought there were so good kirtaniyas. There were so good kirtaniyas also present there. So they brought one good kirtaniya. Oh, you should sing. But then Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur specifically mentioned that no, Srila Bhaktirakshak Sridhar Maharaj, he should speak, he should sing. Then Srila Bhaktiraksha Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, he was not a kirtaniya, that kind of kirtaniya. Those who are regular kirtaniya. He was not that regular kirtaniya. But especially Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, he called him. Oh, you should sing. Then he started singing Shirupa Manjari Pad, Sai Mor Sampad. That was Prabhuji wanted to mention. So his everything about him is very special, very special. He served in many ways Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur. But after the departure of Srila Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, he went to Vrindavan, and how they did their bhajan, it was not so easy. It was not so easy. We tried, we must listen, we must try to know all of these things, how they survived, how they showed the path. That Sri Prabodhanand Saraswati Pad, he is saying that Sri Bhakti Marg iha kantak koti ruddha. This bhakti path is not so easy. So they showed everything, how you have to go on your bhakti path, how you have to go on. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, he went to Vrindavan. After Vrindavan, he came to Navadip. He wanted to stay in Navadip. So before he went to Ekachakra to have a permission of Lord Nityanand. So he requested to Sri Nityananda Prabhu, oh, I wanted to have a hut in your dham. Please give me your permission. Then he came to that place in Koleredanga, where he established the mutt, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mutt. But before, what happened? He rented that place. He rented that place. So he don't have any money. Nothing was in his pocket. So he requested to his younger brother, can you help me? Because that time everything was in a very different situation, was very different, and everybody was on a surviving mode. Everybody was on a surviving mode. Someone is trying here, someone is our Param Gurudev, different Guru Vargas. So Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, he came to Navadip, but no paisa, nothing was in his pocket. But how determined they were, how determined. He called his younger brother, can you help me? So give me 10 rupees per month. So he rented a place there, and he started doing his bhajan there. So almost 45 years in Navadip Dham, almost 45 years he spent there on a very, very simple place. But actually, what he used to speak there, that is the real thing. What he used to speak there, his life was so simple. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he used to even insist him so many times. There are very, very nice conversation between them in Bengali. Very nice conversation. When Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, he returned to India and he went to meet with Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj. He was almost insisting him. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, please come with me. Come with me at least one time. I want to show you how our preaching is going on. But Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, his mood was, no, I am not in this life. Not in this life. So his mood was, he wanted to just stay in Dham. But what he spoke there, that helps 1,000 lakhs and lakhs devotees. What he spoke there, very simply, he used to sit on his bed. Devotees used to surrounded him, and they used to ask very nice question, and how he used to reply. Each and every of his word was the essence of all our Gaudiya scriptures. Each and every word, all of whatever he used to speak, each and every word was like a PhD level thesis, like an essence of all our Goswami Vargas. One time, we understand through his answers. One time, one devotee, he asked to him about service, about seva, that how I can please my Gurudev. How I can please my Gurudev. So, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, although the audience were very less, but what he was talking, what he was speaking, that was from another level, another planet. So, how beautifully Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, he gave answer, and that answer is the essence of whole Chaitanya Charitamrita. Whole Chaitanya Charitamrita. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, he mentioned that one time Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he went to Kurukshetra. He went to Kurukshetra. And when he went to Kurukshetra, he wanted to build a bhajan kuti there. Sri Bhakti Vinod Thakur. He wanted to build a bhajan kuti there. Why? Why? It was quite strange. Devotees who want to live in Kurukshetra. Who want to live in Kurukshetra? If you got a choice, where you want to stay, where you want to live, where you want to do in your bhajan in India, what will be the answer? Vrindavan, Navdeep. Who want to stay in Kurukshetra? Who want to live in Kurukshetra? Isn't it so? Yes or no? Anybody? We want to live in Kurukshetra. Who want to live in Kurukshetra? Battle is going on. Is this the place a devotee should live? Who want to live in Kurukshetra? But Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he mentioned that, oh, I want to live here in Kurukshetra. I want to build my bhajan kuti here, and I want to serve Srimati Radhika. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, he was explaining this. And this is the essence of all Chaitanya Charitamrita. Why Srimad Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he wanted to live in Kurukshetra? Because Srila Sridhar Goswami Maharaj mentioned that when Srimati Radhika, she is feeling so much separation for Krishna, and for so long she is feeling separation for Krishna. And at that time, if any news, even single news about Krishna comes, and if someone brought that news, what Srimati Radhika will do to that person? Understand? Am I clear? Language problem. Everything is clear? Why Srimad Bhaktivinoda Thakur wanted to build his bhajan kuti in Kurukshetra? He is saying that, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj is explaining that, why he wanted to build his bhajan kuti? Because that is the very specific time. Srimati Radhika, she is feeling separation for Sri Krishna for so long. For so long. She wanted to meet Krishna. Krishna also wanted to meet Srimati Radhika and all of Brajvasis. At that time, if Radharani is feeling separation for Krishna, so deep separation, at that time, if someone bring even a news of Krishna, will Srimati Radhika pleased with that person or not? Yes. Very pleased. If Krishna in Braj, Srimati Radhika is feeling separation, that is okay. Srimati, not okay, but that is all right. They both are in Braj. Radharani is feeling separation for Krishna. Krishna is waiting for Srimati Radhika and for us. And Lalita Saki, Vishaka Saki, they are bringing Srimati Radhika, or they are Subal Saka and Madhumangal, they are bringing Krishna. They will also pleased. But when Krishna left Braj, he went to Mathura. And Srimati Radhika, for so long she is feeling a very deep separation for Krishna. If at that time, at that specific time, when Srimati Radhika is almost wanted to leave her body, she is feeling that much separation for Krishna that she wanted to leave her body. She is crying. If at that time someone bring a news, oh, Krishna is coming, what Srimati Radhika gonna do? You know, when Krishna took birth in Braj, at that time, how old Nanda Baba and Jashoda Maiya were? Almost. So they wanted to have a son, but son was not coming. But when Krishna born, who brought that news to Nanda Baba? Who brought that news to Nanda Baba? Sunanda or Shri Kavi Karanpur, he mentioned in Anand Vrindavan Champu. Shri Jeev Goswami mentioned in Gopal Champu. That one maid servant, she brought that news to Nanda Baba. Or if Sunanda, she brought that news to Nanda Baba. When Nanda Baba heard, oh, I got a son, you know what Shri Kavi Karanpur mentioned? He mentioned that it is difficult for me to explain everything in English. No lakhar mein. He gave so many, kya bolenge, visheshan. So many, not evidence. विशेषण को क्या बोलेंगे? So when Nanda Baba heard this news, oh, I got a son. So his heart was like a pond. That pond is not having water since many years. So that pond is dry, very dry. So cracks will come. So when the rain is coming, what will happen? What will happen for that pond? Fill up, slowly, and water is coming from up. Also, water is coming from down. So what will happen? After so long, that pond was dry, and now water is coming from everywhere. So what will happen? Overflow. What will happen? Overflow. So when that maid servant or that Sunanda brought that news to Nanda Baba, and that news went into the ear of Nanda Baba, he was overflowing with the bliss, with the joy, because that joy, that bliss was not normal. He had only one son. He had only one son, and that son after a long time. Understand? So this is happening in Vatsalya Ras. What is happening in Madhurya Ras? Srimati Radhika, she is feeling so deep separation for Krishna. So what Bhaktivinoda Thakur's intention is there? Oh, Radharani, she will come to this Kurukshetra. She will come to this Kurukshetra. After so long separation, she will come to this Kurukshetra. So that will be the best opportunity. If I could serve a little bit, if I could serve a little bit, if I could give any information of Krishna to Srimati Radhika will pleased with me so much. So that should be my bhajan. That should be my bhajan. Understand? Yes or no? Yes. So that's why Srimad Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he wanted to build his bhajan kuti in Kurukshetra. Because in Braj, every time so many sevas are going on. But here in Kurukshetra, what is happening? After so long, Brajvasis are going to meet with Krishna. After so long, Krishna is going to meet with Brajvasis. So that will be the best opportunity. So if we serve in particular opportunity, if we get that opportunity, how? Let me give you one example. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was fully observed in the mood of Srimati Radhika. Fully observed. He was crying. And in that same mood, he went to Jagannath temple. He was completely observed in the mood of Srimati Radhika, separation mood. And what happened? When he went to Jagannath temple, Singhdwar, there are 4 gates, 4 doors. One of the door is Singhdwar. So there was doorman. They were standing there. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, fully observed in the mood of Srimati Radhika, he went there and he started asking to that doorman. He was a simple doorman. He didn't do any seva to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Was he? No. He just knew that, oh, he is Mahaprabhu, a big person. He never did any seva to Mahaprabhu. Never. He was a ordinary doorman of Lord Jagannath. But Mahaprabhu, he was fully observed in the mood of Srimati Radhika, separation mood. He went to the door and he started asking to that doorman, oh, can you take me to Lord Krishna? Can you take me to my Krishna? Where is my Krishna? Where is my Krishna? Where is my Krishna? He was crying. And that doorman with folded hand, he requests to Mahaprabhu, oh Prabhu, come to me. Come with me. I will show you where is your Krishna. I will show you where is your Krishna. So Mahaprabhu took his hand and he took Mahaprabhu in front of Lord Jagannath. Oh Prabhu, that is your Krishna. That is your Krishna. And Mahaprabhu, when he saw Saito Prananath Painu, oh, here is my Krishna. Here is my Krishna. And what Mahaprabhu did? He embraced that doorman so tightly that that doorman who did not serve any time, but this particular situation, understand, this particular opportunity, just what he did, he just showed, and he took Mahaprabhu's hand, and what he did, he took Mahaprabhu to in front of Lord Jagannath. Oh, there is your Krishna. So what Mahaprabhu started thinking, oh, this person, I was feeling so much separation for my Krishna. Or this person, this doorman, He made it possible for me. I was searching my Krishna, I was searching my Krishna. This doorman made it possible for me. So Mahaprabhu embraced him and he got prema. That doorman, he tested little bit of that prema, which is very, very rare. So what service he did to Mahaprabhu? What service he did to Mahaprabhu? Am I clear? Yes or no?
Yes.
That was a very simple service. But the mood was very high. The mood was very high. The opportunity was very, very rare. Mahaprabhu was fully absorbed in the mood of Srimati Radhika. And he took that opportunity very seriously. Now I got this. Even he didn't know what is going on in his mind. They doorman, they know, oh, he always cry. Mahaprabhu, he is always cry. So, but he is a very, very big person. Very big person. Even Raja surrendered to him. Even the king surrendered to him. Sarvam Bhattacharya surrendered to him. Even they don't even know what is going on in his heart. But what they did, just they took Mahaprabhu's hand and took him to in front of, oh, here is your Krishna. That's why Srimad Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he wanted to build his bhajan kuti in Kurukshetra. If I got a chance to serve Srimati Radhika, I got a little bit of chance because she will be in great separation. I will search for Krishna. Where is Krishna's camp? Where is Krishna's camp? I will search for Krishna and I will take that news to Srimati Radhika. Oh Radhaji, Krishna is in the camp number 2 or camp number 3. If just hearing about Krishna, oh, this Dasi, this person brought this news to me, what Srimati Radhika will do to me? She will give me her blessings, everything. Understand? That is the mood of our Rupanu Guru Vargas. No one, how glorious they were. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, he used to talk these kind of topics. So high class of topics. So high class of topics. We cannot even imagine how glorious they were. That is called real sadhu sangha. So his his vani, his teachings, whatever he spoke there, that is still preserved. The devotees they preserve, and that is the real essence. That is the real treasure of Rupanu Guru Vargas. That is the real treasure. Not only this, one after one, how he used to answer them. For each and every question he used to speak, whatever he used to speak, we will feel that, oh, this is the essence of whole Chaitanya Charitamrita. What he just speak. This is the why Mahaprabhu is searching for Krishna. Why Mahaprabhu is searching for Krishna. And what we devotee, what is our service? As Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur said very clearly, in the last 12 years, what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is tasting in Gambhir explain how beautifully that this Brahma Gayatri belongs to Srimati Radhika. That is their real glories. So many katha about him. So many katha. They used to ask him question, and he used to give answer. How simply you see those videos. You read his books. Each and everything, how beautifully explained. Even the explanation of Bhagavad Gita. When he used to explain the verse of Bhagavad Gita, he will take one word. He will take one word, and he will take that one word to up to bottom through the Shantaras to Madhuryaras. He will take even that one word, not even one verse, one word. He will take one word, and how he will explain that word, that this word, one word is completely belongs to Madhurya Ras, even belongs to Unnat Ujjwalas. That is the mood of Krishna. That is the mood of Krishna. One verse he will take from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and no one can imagine how he will explain that word. So how glorious our Rupanuga Guru Vargas. How glorious. How glorious Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj. That's why they call him the guardian of devotion. When he wrote that Bhakti Vinod Viraya Dashkam, I think you must have heard that. Bhakti Vinod Viraya Dashkam. And how he pleased, how he know the heart as Shri Rupa Goswami. What is the speciality of Shri Rupa Goswami? There were so great associates of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu allowed Shri Rupa Goswami that you come to my heart. If someone allowed us, as Madhvi Didi, she allowed us, Braj Vallabh Prabhu, they allowed us. That's why we are entering in their house. If they don't allow, what will happen? We have to wait outside. Isn't it so? Yes or no? So if someone allowed you, oh, come to my home, then we will get chance to enter their home. And this home is having so many different parts. This is Thakurji's place. They are having their own bedroom. They are having their own different places. Isn't it so? So heart, Mahaprabhu's heart is very big. So many devotees, they are living in his heart. Isn't it so? Even Haridas Thakur is also living. Even Sarvam Bhattacharya is also living. True or not?
Yes.
All devotees, they are having place in his heart. But what is the most secret place of Mahaprabhu's heart? What is the most secret place of Mahaprabhu's heart? Understand what I am trying to say? Language problem. Please forgive me. I want to explain many things, but due to this language barrier, it is very difficult to explain everything. But I am trying my
It
level
seems
best.
like there's no barrier in that.
So I'm just trying to say that Mahaprabhu's heart is very big. He is having space for each and every devotee. He cannot he cannot leave any of his devotee. That is the mood of Krishna. That is the mood of Mahaprabhu. They cannot leave any of their devotee. Even Haridas Thakur, he will also staying in Mahaprabhu's heart. Sarvam Bhattacharya also staying in Mahaprabhu's heart. But there is a place where everyone cannot go. Isn't it so? According to our Rupanuga Guru Vallabh. There is some specific place where everybody cannot go. When Mahaprabhu is dancing in Nam Sankirtan with everyone, Bahirang Laya Kare, Nam Sankirtan. Antarang Laya Kare, Premaswadan. As we were discussing, Haridas Thakur is very near and dear to Mahaprabhu. Sarvam Bhattacharya is very near and dear to Mahaprabhu. Isn't it so? But when Mahaprabhu is tasting the mood of Srimati Radhika and Gambhira, Gambhira, when he is tasting the mood of Srimati Radhika and Gambhira, with whom? You are so broad-headed. Why with only two? You should allow Haridas Thakur also there. Sarvam Bhattacharya, will he? Why? He's having place for everyone, no? So why? Variety. That will be a Rasavas dosh. You know Rasavas?
Yes.
incorrect conceptions of rasa.
Wrong mixing.
Mixing.
Wrong mixing. Even Param Prabhu can help. In Hindi. So you must know Hindi. Wrong mixing. Rasa was the very nice word. Wrong mixing. So Mahaprabhu is having space for everyone. But will he allow when he is tasting? Or will they want to enter? Haridas Thakur will want to enter there. No, they know that no, this is our barrier. We must not cross that barrier. Understand? So heart is very big, but there is some specific place. Shirup Goswami, what happened? Shirup Goswami, he went to Jagannath Puri. Many devotees were there. Mahaprabhu is dancing. He is having, he is tasting Radharani's mood. Ya Kaumar Har Saye Bhi Varasta. And what Shirup Goswami did? He understood immediately what is the mood of Mahaprabhu. He wrote one very nice verse. He wrote one very nice verse. And he put that verse on his hut, somewhere on the roof. When Mahaprabhu and he went to Rup Goswami went to bath in the ocean. In between, Mahaprabhu arrived there. Mahaprabhu checked that he started reading that slok. Oh, and Swarup Damodar was with him, and he showed that to Swarup Damodar. How he knows how he understood my heart. What was the reply of Shri Swarup Damodar? Oh, you must have given your mercy, not ordinary mercy, specific, special mercy. That's why he is able to understand your heart. So that is the speciality of Shri Rupa Goswami. Shiv Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he allowed Shri Rupa Goswami to enter even the most specific, confidential place in his heart. In his heart. Understand? Mahaprabhu allowed him. So when Srila Bhakti-Rakshak Siddhar Goswami Maharaj, he wrote that Bhakti Vinod Viraya Dashkam. There is a specific verse in that Viraya Dashkam. Gauranumat Swarupa Viditam Rupan Graje Adritam. Very specific, very nice verse. And in that specific verse, Srimad Bhakti Rakshak Siddhar Goswami Maharaj, he explained that why Srimad Bhakti Vinod Thakur appeared to this world. Why Srimad Bhakti Vinod Thakur he appeared to this world? He appeared to this world, Bhakti Vinod Thakur. He just not come to this world to just give Vedi Bhakti, to just giving Lord Lakshmi Narayan's Bhakti, Lord Ramchandra's Bhakti. Specifically, Srimad Bhakti Vinod Thakur is described in that verse that why Sri Bhakti Vinod Thakur came. Oh, he came to give this specific bhakti, what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to distribute, this Manjari Bhav. And how beautifully through his Granth, through his life and teachings, Srimad Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he distribute the mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He manifest, he preached why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to this world, what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to distribute. He wrote, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Siddhar Goswami Maharaj, he wrote that very nice Bhakti Vinod Viraya Dashkam, specifically this verse. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, at that time he was in Darjeeling. And when he read that, what was his remark? His remark was very, very special about Srila Bhakti Rakshak Siddhar Goswami Maharaj. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's remark. What was his remark? He was so pleased with that. So pleased with that. How it is possible? How it is possible for someone who entered even in that secret, most confidential area. That is my heart. That was the heart of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur and Srila Bhakti Rakshak Siddhar Goswami Maharaj. He entered in that specific area, in that specific confidential area, and he brought something from them there, and he distribute. Given to the world. And when Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, he got to know, he entered in that very confidential area, and he brought something from there. Like Shri Rupa Goswami, he entered in very confidential area, Mahaprabhu's heart, and he brought something from there and showed to the world that what is the speciality of Mahaprabhu, what Mahaprabhu is tasting. The same thing Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj did to Srila Bhakti with Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur. He entered in that confidential area. He collected something from there. He collected something from there and he distribute. He showed to the world. This is the heart of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur. That's why when Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, he read, what was his remark? Oh, the Katha, what I wanted to speak. What I wanted to speak, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur is saying about Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj. What I wanted to speak after my departure, someone will be there to speak my heart. And that person is Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj. That's why they gave him this title, the guardian of devotion. The guardian of devotion. How glorious they were. How glorious they were. That is called real disciple. Real disciple who can enter in the heart of Gurudev, even at that particular, even that very confidential area, and can bring something from there and show to the world that who is my Gurudev. Who is my Gurudev? What is his mood? That is called real disciple. So all are they. They are real disciple. As our Param Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta, Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, he established Radha Vinod Bihari. That was the heart of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur. What Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur wrote? He wrote, Shri Krishna Virahe Radhikar Dasha Amito Sahita Nari. Oh, we cannot tolerate the separation of Srimati Radhika when she is crying for Krishna. When she is crying for Krishna. So Rupanu Guru Varga, they don't meditate on the separation of Srimati Radhika. Then what they meditate? They meditate how Krishna is feeling separation for Srimati Radhika. That is the mood of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur. So what our Param Gurudev did? He established Shri Radha Vinod Bihari. That is the heart of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur. Krishna is feeling separation for Srimati Radhika, and that much separation, even thinking about Srimati Radhika, thinking, he got golden complexion. That is the heart of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur. And our Param Gurudev entered in his heart. He collects something from there and he showed to the world. That is the heart of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur. That same thing, each and every one of them. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he also entered there. He also entered there and he also collected something from there. And he showed to the world, what is my Gurudev? What is the speciality of my Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur? Once one devotee asked to Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, oh, tell us something about your Gurudev. What was his reply? What to speak about him? What to speak? He started crying little. What to speak about him? He was a Vaikuntha Purusha. He was a Vaikuntha Purusha. And so how glorious they were. Our Rupanu Guru Varga. I don't know how much time. I think time is running. I wanted to speak so many things, but time is very short. I wanted to speak. I wanted to remember something about Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. By their mercy, by his mercy, and we are sitting here. We are sitting here. Because of them, our क्या बोलेंगे, हमारा अस्तित्व है, our existence. Because of them, we exist. Because of them, we exist. And what they did, that was beyond our imagination. Beyond our imagination. They took so much responsibility. So much responsibility. Everything they have done for us. Everything there. He was having a very good life. Very respected life in Vrindavan. Even governor, the big persons, they used to come to Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. He was living his best life nearby Rupa Goswami. Even on his old age. But he did everything as we were discussing. Mahaprabhu gave him the most difficult task. He chose him. Oh, he will be able to fulfill this most difficult task. That's why they remember. They remember him, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Oh, his task was
impossible. So Mahaprabhu gave him this almost impossible task. So that is the speciality of Mahaprabhu's, these personal associates. They always take the impossible task and they will fulfill that task with in a very special way. Not jaise taise, anyhow. No, not anyhow. They will take the most difficult task and they will fulfill that difficult task in a very special way that will be ideal. That will become ideal. So Mahaprabhu gave him a most difficult task. Go to them. Shri Lochan Das Thakur, he wrote one very nice payar in Chaitanya Mangal, and that payar completely fitted about Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Jadi papi dharma chhadi dur deshe jaye, more bhakta senapati jaibe tatha. We all are. We don't want to do. We were running here and there, but Mahaprabhu sent his personal associates. Go here and there. His generals, a big senapati. Shri Raghunath Das Goswami mentioned in Shri Manasiksha, Prabhu Daitam Samantam Atulam. They are great soldiers, great senapatis of Mahaprabhu's Sena. They will go here and there and they will catch us. We cannot hide. Oh, someone run away to Australia, someone run away to America, someone run away to India in different parts, small part, big part. They will come to our door. Knock. Prabhu kahe kahila mai mahamantra. Ya japo giya sabe karya nirband. They will knock our door and we cannot hide from them. So, this is the evidence. From many countries in a very small place. The whole world is sitting here. Understand? That is their glories. So that's why they used to say this very, very particular line. And that line always remained in our heart. His task was impossible. But he did it anyway. How glorious Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. How he took everything on his head. Because Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur used to say that Krishna is Vadanya. Krishna is having 64 qualities. He is Vadanya. Vadanya means?
Munificent.
बहुत दयावान, magnanimous. And Mahaprabhu is Mahavadanya, more magnanimous. But what about his devotees? There are no limit of their magnanimity. There is no limit of their magnanimity. They accept everyone. Mahaprabhu, one time Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, he was explaining. Can I have 5-10 more minutes? He was explaining. Sorry. He was explaining that someone was asking about Chota Haridas, the pastime of Chota Haridas. So Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, he said that he was explaining this pastime, but that what is the teaching of this pastime? Chota Haridas, he did something, although he is a Nitya Parikar of Mahaprabhu, but through Chota Haridas Thakur, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed that what should be the ideal life of sannyasi. Shukla Vastre Masi Bindu Jaichena Lukaya, sannyasi Alpachidra Sarva Loke Gaya. Oh, Tyagi, sannyasi, they must have a very pure life. So Mahaprabhu showed, so Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, he was explaining this pastime, sweet pastime. So he said that one time what happened, Srila Sridhar Goswami Maharaj and Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhav Goswami Maharaj, at that time he was Sri Hayagriva Brahmachari. They were in Madras, they were preaching, and what happened? One Brahmachari, he did something wrong. So the villagers, they gathered and they came to Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj. He was sannyasi at that time. So they came to Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhav Goswami Maharaj. Before meeting with Srila Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, they met with Srila Madhav Goswami Maharaj. He was Sri Hayagriva Brahmachari at that time. The villagers, they were very angry. Oh, your boy, your Brahmachari, he did something wrong. We will beat him. Just give that Brahmachari to us. We will punish him. So Srila Madhav Goswami Maharaj very calmly, he understood the situation and he said that, oh, our Maharaj, he is taking rest, he is so tired, he is taking rest. Srila Bhakti Sridhar Goswami, he was in charge. So he is taking rest. I am requesting you, you please come tomorrow. You please come tomorrow and we will settle it. And Srila Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, he was not sleeping. He was listening inside. Then they all villagers, they went back. Srila Madhav Goswami Maharaj, he came to Srila Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, he explained everything. Srila Sridhar Goswami Maharaj said, Prabhu, I know everything. What we should do? Oh, we should send this boy right now to Mayapur. Right now. So they sent that boy. Next day all the villagers came. Srila Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, he met with them and he pacified them. And that boy left. He is not here no more. He will not come again. This and that, sorry for that, this and that. Everything happened. When this news came to Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, he said that, oh, I cannot accept that boy. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, he said that, oh, I cannot accept that boy because he did something wrong. But you devotees, you should not leave that boy. I cannot accept that boy. You should not leave that boy. What does it mean? I cannot accept that boy. And you cannot leave that boy. What does it mean? What does it mean? Same thing happened with Chota Haridas. Mahaprabhu rejected him. But the devotees, they rejected him. Shri Nityananda Prabhu rejected him. Shri Swarup Damodar rejected him. No, that is the mood of the devotees. That is the mood of Mahaprabhu's devotees. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he clearly mentioned, I will not accept this. I cannot accept this boy. But you cannot reject this boy. So remain him. Why? Because if I will accept, then message goes wrong. Some other will try to, oh, Srila Prabhupada, oh, he accept him, he did something wrong, this and that. But what should be the mood of devotees? So Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, he said that, very nice point there. That is the mood. That is called real Mahavadanyata. So he is saying that, what should be the punishment for that person? It is very hard to digest. Even he is saying this thing in his katha. Srila Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, he is saying that it is very hard to digest. Even one of my god brother, he came to me and he said to me, oh Maharaj, you should not speak like that. Otherwise, devotees, they will think, oh, do whatever you want to do. Anyhow, they will accept again. Accept us again. But what Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj moved there? He said that that boy, that person must be punished or not?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Huh? So what should be the punishment?
What did he do wrong?
Huh?
What matters?
Something wrong. That is enough. Something wrong which is not proper etiquettes of a Vaishnava, especially of a Tyagi, of a Tyagi, renounced person. He was a brahmachari, not sannyasi, but he did something wrong. So he must be given some punishment or not. Normal person, what they will think? Yes, that person must be given some punishment. But what is the ideology of Mahaprabhu's these parikars? Srila Sridhar Goswami Maharaj said that he is already doing the
Atonement.
if he is chanting, if he is doing Gayatri Mantra, if he is serving Radha and Krishna, that is the best punishment. That will purify him. That will purify him. If we give him any punishment, just go away, that will work for him.
He will be lost forever.
We will lost forever. Normal people like us, we will think, oh, he must be punished. He must be punished. That same thing happened in Mathura. But I cannot tell you. Few things, it is not to be discussed. It should not to be discussed. But I saw, we were with Gurudev. So we saw his mood. What was his mood? That time, we were like a very young boy. But now slowly, through these Rupanu Guru Varga's thoughts, now we are realizing. Now we are realizing. One person did something wrong, different devotees, they wanted to punish him. And they were insisting, Srila Gurudev, again and again, punish him, punish him, punish him. He should be, get out from the mutt. And Srila Gurudev, his mood was, no, I will take care about him. You forget him, I will take care about him. But they were insisting again and again. And Srila Gurudev said once, I remember it very clearly, I was there. He said that, first come to my level. First come to my level and then take decisions. And then take decisions. So what Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj is explaining there, he is explaining that already he is doing the best प्रायश्चित को क्या बोलेंगे? Atonement. Already he is doing the best atonement. He is serving Hari Guru and Vaishnavas. He is chanting the holy name. He is in the association of Sadhu Sangh. He will be purified very shortly, very soon. He will be purified. So that is called real Mahavadanyata. There is no need to give other punishment. What punishment should be given to that? Should we beat them? Beat him? Should we kick him out? But normal person, it is very hard to digest. I also understand. It is very hard to digest. Oh, if someone did something wrong, he must be punished. But I am saying here that what Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj is describing, that is their mood. They are on another level. That is called Mahavadanyata. They accept everyone. They accept everyone. So how glorious they were. How glorious they were. One simple story in 5 minutes. Sorry. One last story in 5 minutes. One time, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he was preaching in West, and one of his early disciples, he did something wrong previously. He was involved in some drug things. So he got jailed. So government, he was having something with government. So government क्या बोलेंगे? उसको जेल भेज दिया. Sent him in prison. That you have to surrender on particular date and you have to go jail. Before this date, you have to surrender to the police station. So he came to Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. He said to him, Prabhupada, at that time they used to call him Swamiji. Swamiji, oh, I have to go to jail. I have to go to jail. If a person come to normal person, what should be the reply? Oh, you are going to jail? You must have done something wrong. Isn't it so?
Yes.
But what was the reply of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada? They are Mahavadanya. What he said?
Krishna also was.
Krishna born also in jail. So no problem. And again, he asked to him that what you did? Oh, I was selling the drugs. No problem. Before I was also selling the drugs. No problem. Because he was in pharmacy. Oh, what you have done wrong? Oh, I was selling the drugs. No problem. I was also selling the drugs. So their heart were like that. They were Mahavadanya. They were Mahavadanya. Only seeing the something. If there is nothing good, they will find out. They will make that bad thing even good. So how glorious our Rupano Guru Vargas. We are so fortunate that anyhow we connected them. So one day we will go to Golok Vrindavan. Gaur Premanande. Jai Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj ki. Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj ki. All glorious to all Rupanuga Guru Vargas. Gaur Premanande.
I don't think that he went to jail. I think some money came to the police.
Yes. After that, everything got settled. But that was his remark. There's also the story where Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta went to one village and one of the devotees left. They kicked him out. And he said, if you don't bring him back, I'll leave. Yes. But one time what happened, our Gurudev was saying that, what happened, one brahmachari, he was doing so many things wrong. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, he was teaching him, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. After so long, what happened? After so long, when he was doing again and again, one day Srila Prabhupada decided that he should go out, because seeing him, the atmosphere of mutt is going disturbed. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, he called our Param Gurudev, because he was manager at that time, Param Gurudev Shri Vinod Bihari Brahmachari. And Srila Prabhupada said to him that kick him out. He will not going to listen us. Kick him out. So our Param Gurudev, he listened Srila Prabhupada, and okay, I will take care about this. So Param Gurudev went to his work. Evening time, Srila Prabhupada, he saw that that brahmachari is still in mutt. So he understood that Vinod Bihari Brahmachari, he must be very busy. That's why he forgot or anything. So he called another brahmachari. His name was Sri Gokulanand. He was from Odisha. Very big personality. Srila Prabhupada called him, Gokulanand, come here. Take this brahmachari, kick him out. He immediately go there, took brahmachari's neck, that brahmachari who was doing wrong, from here. Took his all the stuff, throw that stuff, took him from here. He was small and that Gokulananda was very big. He took him, kick him out. Srila Prabhupada, I had done that. Very nice. When Param Gurudev came after some time, Srila Prabhupada asked him, I told you to kick him out. Why you didn't do that? He replied, Param Gurudev, Prabhupada, I know he is doing many things wrong. But if you kick him out from your lotus feet, his life will be spoiled. Now, Gokulanand, kick him out. I know that after some time, you will also feel what? Aapko dukh hoga, feel sad. You will feel sad about him. And you will say to us, call him again. Because this is the best hospital where he will get treatment for his disease. If you kick him out from your lotus feet, his life will be spoiled. Then Param Gurudev started crying. Srila Prabhupada also started crying. One more story. Very nice story. What happened? How their heart was.
Did he come back?
That we don't know. He come back or not, but that was the mood. We have heard it from Srila Gurudev. He was speaking on Param Gurudev's disappearance day. One more story. How their heart is. Our Rupanuga Guru Varga's heart is. One time Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he went to preach in Odisha. So from Odisha, he brought one devotee, kind of devotee. His name was Dharma Sau. He was a young age boy. He at first he was showing so much compassion, so much serving mood, this and that. So Srila Prabhupada brought him to Mayapur. He started serving in Mayapur. At that time there was not so much preaching. Only few joined mutt. So he was serving in different ways, but he was having some bad character. So what he used to do, he used to go out, because that time there was no so many devotees, those who can look out what he is doing, what that person is doing. Only few devotees used to live in Chaitanya Mutt, Mool Mutt. So that Dharma Sau, he was having some bad character. He used to go out and used to meet with some Muslim people, and he started drinking something. He started taking tobacco. So many things he started doing wrong. And those Muslim peoples, they taught him that you should not live in mutt. You should leave the mutt, you should stay with us. We will give you food, this and that, everything. So, what happened? He started living with them. Srila Prabhupada got little concerned about him. Why he is doing that? So he sent Paramanand Prabhu, one of his earliest disciples, bring him back. Paramanand Prabhu went to him and he समझाया.
Explain to him.
Trying to explain to him that you should not live with them. Srila Prabhupada brought you from Odisha. He is giving you so much opportunity to serve this and that. Come here. But he don't wanted to come. He don't wanted to come. Even what happened, by their advice, they said to him, after some time he came, but what happened in between? He got very sick. He got very sick. His liver got hepatitis B. There is a one disease called hepatitis B. At that time there was no cure for that disease, and he got very sick, and then they throw him out. Those persons with whom he was staying, they kick him out. When he got sick, they kick him out. He came to Srila Prabhupada. Please take me again. My situation is very bad. Please take me. And please accept me. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he accept him again. And then for more than 6 months, it took so much money. And Sri Paramanand Prabhu, by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada's instruction, he served him. Sri Paramanand Prabhu, he served him for more than 6 months. And Srila Prabhupada spent so much money for him. After 6 months, he got cured. Now very fine, healthy. Then he came to Srila Prabhupada. Oh, you gave me a new life. Now I will surrender my life to you. Okay, no problem. Serve Hari Guru and Vaishnava. And again he started serving. After some time, his previous samskar came again. And he started going again to those people. And now situation went more bad. They advised him that, oh, now you are becoming old. You should take some money from mutt, because you spend your whole life to the mutt. And that Dharma Sahu, he was a very bad person. He took their advice very seriously. Even he claimed that, oh, Srila Prabhupada at that Mool Mutt, they should give me some money for my old age. But there was no money in that time in Mutt. So what he did? He make a court case against Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Paramananda Prabhu. He make a court case. And Srila Prabhu in Krishnanagar, there was no court in Mayapur. Krishnanagar, you know Krishnanagar? Quite not 10, 15 kilometers from Mayapur. So he make a court case. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, he had to go to the court. And what happened? Because that Dharma Sahu, he don't have any evidence. Oh, I served him, I served there, I spent my time this and he don't have any evidence. But what happened? That judge bolte hai na? That judge, he called Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. You want to say something in your favor? Srila Prabhupada was sitting in the audience. So the judge, he called Srila Prabhupada. You want to say something in your favor? No, I don't want to say anything. If Srila Prabhupada comes to, क्या बोलते कटघरे को? Witness box. And if he says something, because Srila Prabhupada spent so much money for him, for his treatment, and he got all the bills, everything, that doctor, he can also give evidence. But what Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur did, he said, no, I don't want to say anything. So the judge, he gave judgment against Srila Prabhupada. Oh, you have to give him that much money. You have to give him. He accepted everything. Did not speak even one word. But what happened, you know? That very same day, shall I tell you? That very same day, what happened? That judge who made that statement, his only brother died. And he got mad. He never come, he was not able to come again to his court. That's very same day. And that person, that Muslim person who gave advice to Dharma Sahu, that you should file a court case, that very same day, his only son died. He also got mad. And that Dharma Sahu, after a few days, he got again hepatitis B. And he used to sit. Everybody, they throwed him, they kicked him out. And he used to stay under a tree on the bank of Ganges and used to cry, oh Prabhupada, please forgive me, please forgive me. And when this news comes to Srila Prabhupada, he prayed to Mahaprabhu. He prayed to Mahaprabhu for Dharma Sau. क्या बोलेंगे इसका मंगल हो? Please be merciful to Dharma Sau. Please forgive him. Please be merciful to Dharma Sau. That is the heart of our Rupanuguru Varga. How it is not they say generally, oh, they are Mahavadanya, they are Mahavadanya. No, they are really Mahavadanya. When Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur started Navdeep Dham Parikrama, first year only for 4 days. Navdeep Dham Parikrama only for 4 days. First year. After second year, Srila Prabhupada gave suggestion that, oh, we should do Navdeep Parikrama for 9 days. And that time Mayapur was completely forest. Almost all the Navdeep was it is almost more than 100 years before. More than 100 years before. That time all the Navdeep, it was completely forest. So Srila Prabhupada personally he went to each and every place. He wanted to take all the devotees to each island and he wanted to stay one night in each island. So where devotees will going to stay. So we have to make some arrangements. We have to put camps there. So Srila Prabhupada he personally by foot, somewhere by foot, somewhere by boat. There was nothing to walk. There was nothing to there was no car. Car came to Chaitanya Math after some time. So Srila Prabhupada went foot by foot everywhere. So when he went to Mamgachi, you know Mamgachi? Modrumdeep, Vrindavan Das Thakur's birthplace. And he was searching for a place where we can make camps for the devotees. So the smart Brahmins, those who used to live there, they were very envious to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur. They saw, oh, this Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he came here, what he want to do? Then they got to know, oh, he will take all the pilgrims. Kya bolte hain? All the pilgrims here. His preaching is going on. So we should stop him. Srila Prabhupada, he just went there to see a place where we can make camps. Just to see that. And that those smart Brahmins, they were so envious to Srila Prabhupada. What they did? They filed a court case in Krishnanagar again. Why? Oh, he came to our place and he chori kar liya.
He wants to steal some utensils.
He stole something from me. So he stole some money from our houses. He came here and he stole some money from our houses. लेना एक ना देना दो. इसकी अंग्रेजी करो. Without any, क्या बोलेंगे?
Evidence.
Just file a court case against him. Oh, he came to our place and he stole some money. Can we imagine? Can we imagine? किस चीज से उनको गुजरना पड़ा है?
What things he had to go through, the difficulties he had to
What
fight.
difficulties they took on their head. He just went there to have a place, to see a place, and they filed a court case against him. And can we imagine? There was no place for Srila Prabhupada to stay. Whole day he was in court. And at night time, where he used to sleep. Can we imagine? It was a winter season. 100 years back. So much cold. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Paramanand Prabhu, they used to sleep on an open boat, very small boat. Whole day, whole night. On a wooden boat, very small boat.
Small canoe.
Small canoe. That boat was on Ganga Ganges. So because they don't have any place, they used to stay at whole day in court and whole night in Ganges for 4 days. 4 days they were on that same boat. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Paramanand Prabhu. And Paramanand Prabhu wrote that, oh, what difficulties we had. I cannot even explain through my pen. The whole night, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur used to chant because so much cold was there. Open eyes, open sky,
Ganges.
open sky, open Ganges. And we were, for 4 days we were in the Ganges on a simple boat. So how difficulties they had to preach the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How difficulties they had on their heads. We cannot even imagine. So they made everything very easy for us. Everything very easy for us. And we cannot even imagine. If I start speaking their journey, each and everyone's journey, it will take so long time. But then we will realize how difficult for them. How difficult. First 10 years after Srila Prabhupada depart, first 10 years of for our Param Gurudev Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. We heard na, he don't even have 1 paisa to feed his god brother on Ekadashi day. Then one small bird, he throws some paisa. Even he belongs to a landlord family. He was a big landlord. He must go. He can think like that, na? He could think like that, oh, I should go to my home, I should bring some money, this and that. No, they were completely surrendered to the lotus feet of their spiritual master. So they did everything for us. They did everything for us. They did a miracle. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj used to say that he did a miracle. And his miracle is not ordinary miracle. His miracle is not ordinary miracle. No one can change lakhs and lakhs people's life for forever. For forever. This is the magician who came from spiritual world. We have seen so many magicians. They can change things, this and that. Cloth, they can change cloth to flower. They can change flower to cloth. We have seen many magicians. But we ever have seen this kind of magician who can change people's life for forever. Have we ever seen this kind of magician? They are transcendental magician. They are transcendental magician. Magician बोलते हैं ना जादूगर को. They are transcendental magician. And these magicians came from transcendental world. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he sent these magicians, go and show some magic. What I can do, what my devotees can do. Show some magic to this world. So what magic is going on in that transcendental world? We must have to go once there and check that what magic is going on there. Gaur Premanande Hare Hare Krishna. Aarti.